Hello, hello, hello. How are we all doing today? I've just realized that I forgot to change something in one of the other scenes, so I can do that real quick before I even go live properly. There we go. So let's get into the game. Boom. Oh wow, we're almost at 8,050 subs already. I've decided to continue the John Deere celebrations today. We've got the 7710 on this map, and I can't remember what on earth I was doing here. This is done. Okay. That means that these all need to go away. I also need to turn the sound on because I was messing about earlier or last night and turned the sound off. I also need to turn off the money cheat. Because yes, I money cheated to get the 7710. That has been swapped in for the 399, by the way. Hello, Daniel Christek and Slants Plays and ASB. Hello. I'm presuming you heard the news yesterday. What is the Sandy Bay challenge exactly? It's the easier of the two challenges I'm doing at the moment. The rules should be in chat in a second. There you go. It's the easier challenge of the two. And the big news for today is, look, you guys are getting your first looks at it. What do you guys think? How many of the first looks that have come out did you see? Did you see Simulation for the Nation stream on it? Which, I don't know if he's finished the stream or if he's still going, but he was streaming that today. Heard the news about FS19? Yes, the big, huge news about the green grass of John Deere. Big, mean green machine. His stream's finished. Ah, okay. Because I told him through Witchy that I'd be about 15 minutes late. I didn't know if he'd quite finished his stream yet. Finished 10 minutes. Oh. So that's that back. Oh yeah, I was doing that nonsense, wasn't I? Let's get the Maxim back and refueled. You just laugh at the whole thing. What? The fact that John Deere is finally coming to consoles, the brand that everybody on console has been asking for. Oh, you. No money cheat. No money cheat unless I'm doing straight swaps. And the 399 for the 7710 is more or less a straight swap. Like, I'm not getting anything particularly awesome out of it. I'm not swapping a 399 for a 9RX or something. My beard is getting in my mouth and it's annoying. I get the feeling I'm going to get angry later on today and just attack myself with the electric razor downstairs and trim my beard. Because it's getting a bit too long now, and I say a bit too long. It's far too long for my liking right now, so it's going to get trimmed later on today. Hello, Evil Knievel. And Blackout as well. Hello, hello, hello. Funny thing is, I set up my wheel. I have not used my wheel yet so far. Oh, it's doing the thing. I like being proven wrong. Kill. Hell, up until 6 months ago I said, oh, John Deere will never happen, but so much has changed in the last 6 months. Have I seen any Cattle and Crops news lately? I have the game, and yeah, I'll be honest, I don't even have it installed on my Steam anymore. It's not enjoyable. I kind of want to wait until it's finished to give a proper opinion on it, but right now I played it for a bit, I didn't find it enjoyable, and that's about it. You actually thought they were getting class. Lissertan on Giants Discord, I don't know if this is a hint at another major brand or something. I think it might be. has been saying that there's more big news at FarmCon, more big amazing things at FarmCon. So, we might get still class announced at FarmCon. What I was doing at the end of the last stream was some leveling of this pit, which actually has 250,000 litres of silage in it, which is, yeah, that's quite a lot. Hello, Llama King. I straight swapped the 399 for 7710. The 399... Let me just see how close I got, because that was just a guesstimate of, like... It was a 399 turbo, which is 124 horsepower. It was swapped for the 7710, which, okay, it has a bit more horsepower. It's got 160. But it's not going to allow me to do much extra. I got rid of the 399, yes. I wanted to get a 77. I wanted to get a John Deere in, and I didn't want to use the 1630 here as well, because it just doesn't fit with the equipment I'm using here. Start using my steering wheel again, please. I will, when I'm not doing something that will involve me going forwards and backwards a lot and making quite sharp turns, which is what dealing with silage tends to require. Because it'd be a lot more annoying if you hear the gear shifter thumps from my wheel. That I can guarantee you. Hello, Witchy. Think class will be a 19 blackout? I think it's a distinct possibility. I think it can't be ruled out until basically, well, after not Agritechnica, Gamescom. Because Giants like making some announcements at FarmCon, like making some announcements at Gamescom. So until then, it's really just kind of guesswork. I'm bored of Farm Sim. I'll be playing FS17 up until probably like 2 weeks before FS19 comes out. Whenever the media partners get their copies, that'll be the day that I just... And it's going to be unannounced. I'll just stop playing FS17 and go play Euro Truck for a bit, or go do Twitch for a bit. Stream on Twitch for a bit or something. And if I'm one of the media partners, oh, you can be damn sure you'll be getting a lot of streams from me. To the point where there is kind of a potential for me streaming, taking a lunch break to have a sandwich for like an hour or half an hour, and coming back and streaming more. With the 5-litre drum of water sat beside me at all times. That'd be a nail Giants would love to put in CNC. John Deere is a nail, for sure. Class as well as John Deere would be a nail gun. I do love this load all. It's really quite nice. I hope there's an actual... like... Why is that not working? Did you hear that dinging just there? This dinging is my computer not being able to figure out that I've got my wheel plugged in. Good! I'm on keyboard and mouse today. surprised not on pre-order already. FS19, that won't be on pre-order until after FarmCon at least. Better mode simulation, that won't happen. They're going for graphics over like physics things by the looks of it for FS19, which I'm fine with. It's happened to the joystick before. Yeah, I'll just have to reinstall Logitech Profiler and possibly the wheel after the stream, because I want to play some iRacing tonight. I did a Skip Barber race last night, got killed at turn 2. On lap 1, turn 2 or turn 3, there was a crash ahead of me and I got collected on it. So I towed back to the pits, got my quick repair, and went back out on track and started overtaking people who were a lap ahead of me. To the point where I was dropping literally seconds a lap to keep the guys that were a lap ahead of me ahead of me. At which point I just gave up and said, screw it, I'm going fast now. CD, did you forget to change the link for the tar up? Your uncle went and saw the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Hey, Glengar. Now, I do apologise for starting the stream late, but I'm really not sorry because I have a cup of tea. Generally a good idea to go faster when racing. I wasn't racing anybody, I was a lap down from the entire field. Everybody was a lap ahead of me, so like my bright idea was just I'm just gonna cruise for safety rating. And I changed my mind after about 5 laps of nearly punting the guys ahead of me. You weren't on the PC last night, fair enough. Let's do a bit of foraging with the 77. So I'm gonna have to apologise for the clickiness of the keyboard. That's just the sound that it makes. If I move the mic to like there-ish, it might be slightly better. Your racing technique is floored, use wall assisted turning. Mine is try not to drift. I have a habit of liking the brake bias set quite to the rear. And as a direct result, the rear end of the car likes coming around to say hello to the front end. So many driftings tend to happen. Once you pre-order FS19, you'll be driven to get your computer updated. I'm kind of looking that my PC won't need to be upgraded at all for FS19. They're going to try and keep the actual requirements the same-ish. More like a dog chasing its own tail. Yeah, but it is faster overall, because the braking distances are shorter, so you actually... you're going faster for longer and slower for shorter. Plus the Skip Barber is amazing. It's a Formula 2000 car, which is a... What's wrong with my wheel? My PC's decided it doesn't like it today. It does that sometimes. It's not a major issue. I'll just need to like reinstall some drivers after the stream. And because that requires a couple of reboots and about 20 minutes of effort, I'm not going to do it right now. So I do apologize for the clicking, but I don't have a choice right now. I'm not gonna like stop the stream for half an hour and fix that and then come back, because Landy's gonna be starting at 7 o'clock and he is going to be showing you something you're going to want to see. Unless of course you don't want to watch Lone Oak, in which case you're probably not going to want to see it. He's gonna be on Lone Oak. He has permission to do that. 7710 Glengar. See the 7? You'd love 7710 in game. Are John Deere still making it? Because, ooh. If John Deere is still making it, then there's a chance. If not, then maybe not so much. No, Lono looks amazing. What's special about Landy's stream? He's showing off Bullet Bill's new map today. That, I can say this, has been sent to Giants. It is gone for final testing with Giants. And you... ASB, this might get you back into Farm Sim. It's an American map. It is fantastic. I've been playing about on it a little bit. And do I have Lone Oak? Yes. I spoke to him a little bit this morning. He told me that it's only a few people are going to be making content on it for now. I'm not in that group, and I'm perfectly... It's his map. He decides who does what when. So instead of making videos and stuff, I have early access, but I'm not allowed to put up content on it. Other than the pictures of me stacking more and more stuff on top of the dealership. Which apparently is just a thing I do now. Also, this John Deere is claiming you can do 40 kilometers an hour, but I've not seen it do above 20 yet. And the funny thing about me, like, having Lono, because I see the ACC trailer, I have not seen that. Taco Stall Series. I've not checked that yet. I need to go check that. Or ask Landy to check it during history. Why is this being a turd? What is going on here that's glitching this tractor out so that it's going so slowly? Like, I detached the forage wagon, it goes up to 30. Try cruise control. Cruise control's... yeah, let's try cruise control. What's glitching this out? There's a conflict going on here. And I'm not sure what it is. I really wanted to use this to do the foraging, but it's... Like, considering the fact that I'm bringing it over to the BGA, this is just not going to work. That's really that's actually quite annoying. Gameplay looks good for pre-alpha, and there will be supposedly be a spotter, which I'll probably turn off and use Crew Chief if I'm playing ACC. Because the dynamic hoses won't attach. Well, that's easy to fix, I believe. Huh. See, I've turned off the dynamic hoses, it's still derping. Only DLC I have is Big Button Coon. Yeah, Modern Classics. Modern Classics, it's actually under mods because it's a third-party DLC by MadXJS. That is 110% worth the $5, I think that it is. Like, there's... I've got all the DLC. Platinum is a waste of money. I'll be very blunt there. It's a waste of money. There's nothing really amazing about Platinum. I don't use any of the Platinum stuff. What else came out? There was Ropa, which if you want to do a buttload of sugar beets or potatoes, maybe. Or you want basically different coloured in-game equipment for potatoes and sugar beets, then maybe. There was from BM Modding, aka Creative Mesh, the straw add-on, which is quite good. I mean, it adds some stuff, but eh. And in terms of a mod you're going to want, ASB is Seasons. I'm not using it here because people don't like watching it on YouTube, but it just makes the game so much prettier. Especially if you're on this, like, a map that is set up for seasons. Torque scale on this might be warped. No, I think it's got something to do with collisions. So, let's just... I genuinely wanted to use this thing today, but I'm not going to be able to because it doesn't want to work. Difficult to get started. That's kind of the point of it. Like, for the first year in seasons, expect to make a loss. Expect to be, like, negative by the time you get to harvesting. But if you have, like, some animals and you can keep them going, especially cows, they just make you so much more money. Especially if you buy and sell the animals at the right time. I can't remember when the highest price for animals is and the lowest. But you want to buy when animals are low priced and sell when they're high. And you can just make money by buying and selling cattle. You've never made it through a first full year in seasons. I rarely do because people get bored of the series by then. Being bored just waiting for harvest. See, what I do is I try and plan things out in advance where I'm... like, yeah, skipping through a few days at a time in game, but I've got something to do in pretty much everything. One field's planting, then nothing to do. Oh, were you playing on like Goldcrest or something? Play on what are good maps for what are really good maps for seasons? Oakfield, the West Coast, Culver Park Farm. Oakfield's probably the best right now. Lone Oak when it comes out, that is seasons ready. That is. That actually, I might do something with seasons on that map because, oh boy, is it pretty! The Kuhn Combi Baler is amazing. Yes, it might be NFS 19. Glengarn, somebody's probably going to reskin it to be a weird-looking fusion. Because people always reskin things to be weird-looking different brands. That's quite annoying that... Meadow Grove... Yeah, meh, not right now. The reason being Nathan's still working on the update, and he said there's going to be an update soon on the update. Probably, more than likely. Just look at how many weird and wonderful mowers we have that are just reskins of the in-game mowers, and how many different reskins you have of the in-game windrowers. Oops. Well, at least I didn't break the drive shaft off this time. What do I think about John Deere and FS19? I think it's fantastic. Where do I get all my mods? Primarily Giants Mod Hub, Duncan, believe it or not. Like, I know there's not many mods go up, or not many frequent mod dumps, but the mods that do go up are spectacularly high quality by and large. There's a few that I question how they pass testing, but by and large they're really good quality. That's where I got these this Forage Wagon from. It's from a Forage Wagon pack on there. Why would you release a map if it needs an update? Straight up. Because he released it for the contest, Massey. It was released for the contest. The American Seasons map? The American Seasons map is called Lone Oak. It's currently with Giants for testing, and it's the most American map I've ever seen. It's the most well-made American map I've ever seen. Because it's a like real actual place that's been remade in Farm Sim. For the UK, you'd be looking at Oakfield, Coldborough Park Farm, the West Coast are all seasons ready. Sandy Bay and Thornton, both by OxygenDavid, are not, because he frankly couldn't be bothered updating them. The one I'm looking forward to, though, is Shamrock Valley. That, oh boy, am I looking forward to that one. I'm looking forward to you guys getting your hands on Lone Oak as well. Reckon a case Tiger is big enough for Lone Oak. Massey, a big bud is big enough for Lone Oak. It's a map you can use Big Bud on. Where's it based? Lone Oak. I believe it's based in Oregon. Or Oregon. Origami. But that state, OR. In America. Which I can never figure out how to pronounce correctly. 450 would be very nice. If you haven't seen the picture I put into my Discord today, I have... I've given my Big Bud company on the Lone Oak dealership roof. It now has a John Deere 8000 beside it. 8000T and a 9RX as well. I figured, number one, it looked a bit lonely up on top of the roof, so it could do with some. Americans say Oregon both ways, depends. Good! Nobody knows how to pronounce it. I'm just gonna call it Oregon to be different. That's... Yeah, that wasn't the gate, Dave. Are the fields square? Some will be, yes, because in real life American fields are quite squarish. But they're very interesting squares. I always say that if a map is built to have square fields, it looks okay. But if it's just kind of built and has square fields, it looks really weird and bad. Like, Lone Oak has some squares, sure. It has some square fields, but there's so much variation. Like, I was driving around it a while back, and I was just driving around randomly. Should not buy or lease a bigger size wagon for long draw. Sure. I totally should. This is what I've got right now. I maybe should have used Courseplay though. It has rectangles too. But I don't know if you've come across this simulation yet. If you drive around enough, there's like a kind of a forested area on the map, and you're kind of, if you drive at it from the right angle, it just looks European. Like, it's the most bizarre thing that you're driving around on this blatantly American map, and then you just come to this area that's wooded, and it's like, suddenly I'm in Europe. Even though it's America, and I know it's America, and I know that it's real, but it's so European feeling in that one spot. Can you use a Fenton video log? Sure, you can use whatever you want on any map. Hello, Shane Corcoran. And yeah, I mean, it is so good. And yes, all the stuff that I've, the only things that I've done publicly, I guess, for the map so far have been putting random stuff on the dealership roof while I was bored. But I have kind of driven around a few times and just kind of gone sightseeing. It's a map that I haven't played yet, as such, but you can spend half an hour or an hour just driving around the map looking at things and enjoying what you're seeing, and it's really an amazing map. I'm looking forward to it coming out so you guys can all experience the map properly, because I didn't catch your stream. I was gone doing stuff, Sim, but I don't think it'll come across very well in videos just how good the map is. Hello, Kieran. When's FS19 coming out? Fall 2018. So, autumn. There hasn't been an exact date announced, however. And don't take this as fact. Please don't take this as fact. This is just me working things out based on farm sim history. Giants tend, historically, to release farm sim on the last Tuesday in October. Now, the last Tuesday in October this year is the 30th. So, that's the date that I think it might be released. But they might move it a bit to be different because reasons. If there's like a John Deere day, it might be that day. But it looks like Bill's stepped up to another level. Bill and Oxy are always doing that. 1174. Every map they make, they find ways to improve, and they find things they didn't know before that they can learn. It's difficult, yeah. It's difficult to portray just how it, like, it's impossible to portray how it feels. Because you're watching, you're not interacting with the map, if you're watching a video. But the feeling of the map is just, it feels so good. I think of the Pacific Northwest map. I tend to not look at most American maps. For the simple reason of I don't like square fields. I really don't. Lone Oak is very much an exception. ASB, look at maps by NLD Farmers. I can't remember what his maps are called off the top of my head. But NLD Farmers is the guy you want to go for American maps right now. He's the top of the class, we'll say. Spraying herbicide is making you ill. Fun. Delicious times. Hello, JHE. Am I doing okay? I'm doing fine. Just enjoying a cup of tea. Can farm. You're wondering if there will be bigger maps than FF17. There might be. This is something that we don't know. It's like, are the maps still going to be 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers? That's serious mods. I mean, I've heard that's a good map too. Can farms. But NLD is like the guy you want to go for the highest quality for sure. Because he's consistently just stunning with his American maps. I mean, Bullet Bill just kind of wandered in with Roanoke and said, hey, look at how good I can do it. And just blew him out of the water, but... the American maps are hard to make. Because... America is far... A lot of people go, for some reason, for the Midwest of America. And from what I understand, that's really, really flat and has really, really big square fields. A Wilker Farm is a good example of this. The Wilker map coming up from Mapper's Paradise. That's really, really flat with really, really big square fields because they use big buds. Now, that sounds cool, but look it up on Google Maps. Look up Wilker Farms on Google Maps. You'll see very quickly that it's... Because it's a big farm, there's not a whole lot going on. There's not a whole lot that'll grab you and make you say, ooh, this will be interesting in a game. We live in the middle of, yeah, it's like... There's so many maps that I've seen from America that are just flat, square fields, all kind of based around the same place. There's a bunch of the Modern Classics DLC. Ooh, very nice, Biz Rebellion. Get yourself the fast track and the 690. They're the two that have the custom sounds, and they sound amazing. Also, I just realized that I still have the volume turned down from using the 1630 yesterday. So there we go. We're back up to normal game sounds. So I normally don't use mouse and keyboard to play Farm Sim. The 690, 390. I always get them mixed up. The Massey from the Modern Classics. Whatever the Massey is. Considering, I don't know if it made it into... Was it in the video, the DLC breakdown I did, where I just kept saying corn instead of cotton? Because I did 2 takes, and I remember distinctly that in one take I started talking about corn instead of cotton for some reason. And every time I said corn, I corrected myself to cotton. And just I was getting progressively more angry at the fact that I kept missaying it. I was talking to Landy afterwards, and I still kept saying corn instead of cotton. Not from Mid East, be very bumpy instead of some square fields. Use nothing big in the case, PM, you don't like the big stuff. If I was playing this for myself, 1174, I probably wouldn't be playing Farm Sim right now. For one, I'd be doing iRacing. But if I was doing this all for myself, I would be using tiny stuff constantly. Like, the Insanity Challenge, the reason that I chose the equipment I did is because that's what I kind of would use myself on the West Coast. The trailer's only cotton going into 1 harvester. There's cotton going into 5. Did I see Lone Oak? Adam, I have Lone Oak. Bullet Bill doesn't want me doing content on it just yet. He's got a select few that he wants covering it right now, and it's his choice. I literally told him, like, I don't mind one way or another. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing out for myself right now. Because I asked him earlier on today, yo, can I do content on Lone Oak, or is it just like a select few? And he said, no, it's a select few. And I just replied, okay, fine. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing out for myself right now. So that's why I'm not. If I had it from the start, I've had it for a while. Doesn't want it broken yet. Possibly. I've got some ideas for Lone Oak, to be fair. That's a map that I'll get on well with. It's very talkative for me. Very, very talkative. And while I'm struggling on some maps like Meadow Grove to come up with ideas of things to do, Lone Oak just... I've got about 3 different series that I could do on there. And I am tempted to do one, but somebody who's got Lone Oak is already doing it, and I don't want to step on their toes. That's the one that I want to do the most, is the one that somebody else is already doing, so I'm not going to do that one. Which is kind of annoying to me, but oh well. Good ideas get... a good idea is a good idea, and I ain't going to complain about somebody else having the same good idea. I do have a ooh. Ooh. Would that work? I've just literally just had an idea. Would that work though as a series, Dave? It'd be a good experiment. Do I have a piece of paper anywhere so that I can write this down? Because I'll forget it otherwise. There's a thing here, and I have a whiteboard behind my desk. Oh, I've got a thing here. Please work. Is this a whiteboard marker? Right on my phone. I've wrote it down on a little whiteboard that I've got that I stick to my desk lamp. That'll be an interesting challenge. Yes, I've just come up with a new challenge that is going to be vastly different to everything else I'm doing. And very interesting, I think. Hello VF, how are you doing today? American mods only. Yeah, that's something I've slacked on, as I need to find a butt ton of American mods really quickly. But not necessarily American mods. What challenge is this? One that I've literally just come up with in my head. Downloading basically the entire mod hub. A lot of the mod hub is crap. There's some stuff that is just not functional. To a good level. I meant to download the Better Minimap mod and see if it works properly. Dang it, I'm going to download that later on and test it off camera. Because if I can hide that thing, then I can show so much more on streams. It will streamline so much. Is that where I finished the... Every time I derp at this gate. Every single time I smash into the gate. Every time. Interesting ways to play Lone Oak. Yes. Potentially a very interesting way to play Lone Oak. Potentially a very boring way to play Lone Oak. You like the way the nagging modders in the forums? What on earth are you on about, Adam? See you, Farming Man. Lone Oak is a map, though, that when you get it, you will just have ideas. It's just one of those maps that you get and you're like, oh, I could do this, or that, or all three of these things, or those 5 things over there in the corner. It just talks to people. It's amazing. I swear, there's something about Bill and Oxy's maps. The sign on Lone Oak. Oh, is that what's on the taco van? Because I've not seen it. I've not watched Landy's video and I've not bothered loading up Lone Oak to check that because I forgot when I was derping around it earlier. Spent ages trawling through mod sites, find some decent mods. Giants mod hub is the best. FSUK is second best. 60 people, only 30 likes. Come on, you're slacking today, guys. Come on, stop slacking. Come on, get it going. Hit the like button. Get that like button lit up. Make it catch fire. Make it break YouTube or something. Don't make it break YouTube. Don't make it break YouTube. YouTube will break YouTube. We don't need you guys doing that too. Not for American. There's a reason for that. There's a reason there's no many American style mods on Giants Mod Hub, and that's unfortunately. And I wish this wasn't the case. Unfortunately, most American mods are very, very badly optimized, or quite badly made, or private, which is the worst of the 3. Thank you, Joe Lindbergh. The American modding community is effectively dead. Because for some reason the few really good American modders that are out there insist on having their mods be private. I don't know why. It's this really weird thing with American farm sim modders. Do my mind rant again? No. It's just a weird thing with the American farm sim modders, specifically. And I don't know why that is. Like, the best UK and Ireland modders do public stuff. MadXJS, Bulla Bill, OxygenDavid, Dusty Dave, Peter J, even though he's actually Portuguese. But he's part of the UK and Ireland community. He'll say that himself. They all release their stuff publicly. There's no private nonsense involved unless it's, oh, this is going through testing at the moment. Bear with, it'll be public soon. But then you get to the Americans and it's... oh no! How stuck am I? Not very. Then you get to the Americans and everything's just private all the time, always, for some reason. It's it's genuinely saddening. Because there's some fantastic mods coming from that side of the pond that nobody ever gets to play with. We're up to 326,000 litres of silage. I think we're going to be fine for silage very soon. And fine for money, good lord. Little lumpy. Yes, I've not compacted it yet. So this is effectively a money cheat. Which silage always has been and always probably will be. And I love the fact that silage, despite the fact that Giants nerfed silage for FS17, is still hilariously OP money-wise. Like, it's just stupid. Which is why so many multiplayer games are just silage. Let's do the silage. Because it's the most efficient way of making money. Especially grass silage. Yes, it is a bit, especially with a forage wagon, a bit kind of more convoluted to get it done in the first place, but it's easier. It's faster, more efficient, costs less. Bus Simulator is out now. That might be where people have gone. Landy Landy actually had 2 streams planned for today. He was gonna do Bus Sim. He was fully set up to do a Bus Sim stream for launch. And then Bullet Bill said, "Hey, do you want to do Lone Oak?" And then he said, "Yes." Because he quite rightly pointed out that Lone Oak is very much jumping on the FS19 hype train with an American map, especially if you use John Deere's. Yeah, you've covered all the bases from the CGI trailer. It's £27. Should you get Bus Sim? I can't say yes or no. Landy's told me that there were some optimization issues in the review copy that he had. But I don't know if they've been fixed in the release version. There are a few weird bugs and glitches going on, but that was just a review code he had, so it might have been fixed since then. Landy's doing the Hunter last night? No, he ended up doing some like garden stuff, I think. Yeah, it didn't wall up the gate this time. I'm doing well. He ended up doing some stuff around the house last night instead. And then coming on TeamSpeak and talking about the trailer some more. Because that's pretty much all we spoke about last night was FS19 trailer, FS19, what could still be announced, what the little hints the Giants keep giving could mean, and that kind of stuff. Now not crashing into gate. Says the man who broke Google. Hello, hard worker. By the way, for anybody who's new, me making fun of Eddie, that's just a running joke. That's not me being mean to him. That's literally just a running joke at this point. You predict Mikhail. One thing is for sure, there's going to be more news. Potentially next week. Lizardhan. I've been kind of following Giants Discord a bit more lately. I regretted it last night when all hell broke loose and I ended up having to be a referee. That was fun. But Lizardhands said that there's stuff that was announced to the press at E3 and said to the press but not in the trailer, not in the press release, which is a bit odd. And that he will probably release that information next week, so there might be another little info dump next week from Giants. The next major milestone and next major information dump, the really big dump, is going to be FarmCon, where we'll have gameplay videos from people who are there. Hopefully some... We'll be able to see what the game looks like. We'll see gameplay. We'll get a gameplay trailer, if it's anything like the Run Into 17. We might get another brand or 2 or 5 announced. Giants are going all in with 19, so... Don't rule out Class yet. That's all I'm going to say. Is Class is still very much a possibility. FarmCon's about a month from now. In fact, it starts a month and a day from now. Sorry, I got distracted by all the notifications ever on my phone. Modding requirements. There'll be modding information available at FarmCon. So Bullet Bill, OxygenDavid, and myself, and pretty much every modder are going to be following that modding panel very carefully. Don't Giants run FarmCon? Yes, they do. I'm hoping there's going to be like a new version of Farming Simulator modding for dummies compared with 19. Even if it's a pre-release bonus. Or a pre-order bonus or something. Because the current version of modding for dummies... Oh no, I'm stuck in the fence. Come on. Can I get out of this? Yes, in fact. The current version of Farming Simulator modding for dummies is very outdated. Outdated, yes. Outdated when it comes to, at the very least, the layers in GE, the foliage layers, that I think needs to be updated, or Giants need to just release a PDF that has all the foliage layers, what they are, what they do, what the modifiers are, just for reference, a reference PDF of some description for mapping, maybe even a reference PDF for like doing basic mods. I know the scripting docs are something similar, but slightly different. Why do we use kilometers an hour? Because that's what I'm comfortable with, Reese. I use it when I'm playing racing games. I use kilometers an hour. When I do farm sim, it just is a logical thing for me to use kilometers an hour. I understand it in my head. So we're going currently 49.5-ish miles an hour. Weekly Facebook cheat sheets. You mean the fact sheets? Absolutely. And I will most likely do videos on those. All these silly measurements that actually make sense and are divisible by 10 instead of you needing to remember rhymes to remember how many feet are in a mile. I think, really, like, a few people have said this. It's an unpopular opinion to have this, but it's kind of my outlook. I don't care one way or another about John Deere being in Farm Sim for myself. It doesn't bother me. It's nice for variation, and that's about it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not a big John Deere fan. I prefer Case, New Holland, JCB, the brands that are currently in the game. But I'm delighted John Deere are in, not for myself, but for console users, because that was the impossible brand. That was the brand that, you know, and people make fun of me for it, I said was never going to happen. And Landy said it was never going to happen. And he's a John Deere fan. And it's great for console that John Deere is there, because it's great for PC too to an extent, because we finally get good, hopefully a good 6R. Because if there's a good 6R, I will use more John Deeres. A good European style 6R specifically. Can PS4 like and that have John Deere mods in FS19? Yes, they can. That is the added bonus of the license, is John Deere mods on console. Landy's a John Deere fanboy. He's the Landy fanboy. He just likes John Deere. 7810. I'm hoping for an 9RX as well. I'll be honest, like if Giants have John Deere, I hope they go all in with John Deere and have like the 9RX and some of the weirder models. And more importantly for me, especially if seeing as one of the base maps is American, that is 100% confirmed. What's going to be the next console question? Scripting when? Ask Sony. Scripting when? Ask Sony. Scripting when? Ask Sony. But one big thing is, like, with the American map now confirmed as Broadacres Farm in the trailer, John Deere logging equipment? Yes. Yes, please. I would like some John Deere logging equipment, because that is American logging equipment. I don't want to buy European logging equipment for an American map, thank you very much. As much as I like putting weird equipment onto maps, I kind of don't like putting nonsensical equipment onto maps. Yeah, I try and make the maps at least vaguely believable. I know I use the big butt sometimes just as a joke on maps, but I try and make the equipment at least vaguely believable and vaguely kind of realistic for the area. And having European logging equipment on American maps always annoyed me, because some of the best logging maps for Farm Sim are American, and you have to use European equipment basically if you want to use the highest quality stuff. Get the quick loader for the Deere. I would, but I don't have that. I didn't have that activated when I got the Deere last night, so follow me so you can do proper silage. There are worker optimizations coming, Kel. They are changing hired workers, and something I noticed in both the trailer that came out yesterday that announced John Deere, and the screenshots that kind of went beside it was... Did you notice how small the headlands on those fields were? Did you notice that in one of the pictures there was literally like a shrub poking out from like what was presumably the field edge, but it was like right beside the field. There wasn't really a headland as such, so does that mean the hired workers can finally like turn inside the field and deal with stuff realistically and maybe even do headlands? Like, I firmly believe Giants are trying to go... Well, I know Giants are trying to get everything Cattle and Crops has, because Giants don't like Cattle and Crops at all. From some of the things Cattle and Crops have said, and some of the knowledge I have about Giants from various sources, Giants do not like cattle and crops. And they're out to get them. They're out to get cattle and crops and kill them dead. That's probably why John Deere is suddenly in FS19. The impossible brand happened because of cattle and crops. So you potentially have cattle and crops to thank. For John Deere being in Farm Sim. What other brands would I like to see? Okay, here, that's a good question. I'd like to see Class. Class have a lot to bring to the table. Class have a very wide range of equipment. They're not afraid. ASB, don't take the anger as fear. That's pure, unadulterated anger. There is zero fear there. I've had sources tell me, and I'm not going to name who the sources are, but I've had sources tell me that the guy who owns Giants is very upset that Cattle and Crops came out and said, we can do Farm Sim better than Farm Sim. And that really annoyed the owner of Giants. Is Harold as a Farm Sim killer? It was never going to be that. People thought it would be because they always have these unrealistic hopes. I thought it would be a nice alternative myself. I still kind of do, if you want more of the realistic side of things. Because Cattle and Crops is unrelenting realism, and if you're into that, then yeah. Will I have it on the channel? Probably not, because it's basically unplayable for you. Oh dear. It's basically unplayable for YouTube, but the progress is so... Oh dear. Oh dear. Uh-oh. Come on. The progress is so slow in Cattle and Crops that it's just painful at times. Come on, lift yourself up at the chaff. Yes, do that. Do that. Keep going like that. Good. Now I can get slightly less. Yes! Cattle and Crops devs are... I believe some of the guys from the Courseplay team. There's one or two guys who weren't on Courseplay but are for other modders. You got told the Cattle and Crops owns a John Deere in game. I would not trust whoever told you that, Kevin. I have zero information that that was the case. I have information that basically says Giants and John Deere were in talks for a long ass time, and finally worked out a deal. But I've no information saying Cattle and Crops want a John Deere. Other than the fact that every farming game wants John Deere. You know, that's a no-brainer. Oh, we're making a farming game. What brand do we want? John Deere. I think John Deere was a reaction to Class. And I think you'd love to see Landini. Landini be a nice brand to come into Farm Sim, but I don't know, I kind of... This is kind of bad. This is a bit of a negative thing that I'm going to say. And I don't mean it as a negative to Landini or McCormick. I'm going to say that bit first. Landini and McCormick are kind of associated with less good farming games. They're associated with the ones that just don't really work all that well. Because they're a bit of a cheap license, apparently. And because they're relatively small companies. Do I think Land Rover will come? No. Never. That is a true never. You will never see a car company in Farm Sim unless Giants really fleshed out the driving side of things. If they do get a class, they'll be running out of brands to choose from, they'll have to go for smaller companies. Is that really a bad thing, Cian? I would actually argue that if they get class, that'll be the last brand going into the game, and they'll just keep working on keeping the licenses. Unless, of course, Kubota. Like, Kubota's potentially a thing, yeah? Mitsubishi L200. I don't know. I mean, Pure Farming threw a lot of money at that game, and it's failed hilariously. A lot of that money probably went to getting that Mitsubishi license. I wouldn't say pretty much. They like right up at the top CD, it's active hatred. Giants kept John Deere quiet. I don't know. I think it was just a I think it was kind of left out in the open so much that nobody really took too much notice. Like, if you think, was it Agritechnica, they were giving away John Deere toys? And everybody just thought, oh, John Deere just sponsored the toys. Nobody thought, hang on a second. Because, like, obviously everybody said, oh, John Deere, it means John Deere coming in. But that was immediately enough as just, well, they just sponsored the models. So Giants said, I mean, why would Giants lie to us about John Deere? It was hiding in plain sight the entire time and nobody took enough notice. Because anybody who took that much notice would have just been labelled as a conspiracy theorist and laughed at. Because let's face it, up until the last, what, 3-4 weeks is really when I've been saying John Deere is possible. And the last week before the trailer was when I started admitting John Deere is plausible. From all the information I had, it was only in the last couple of weeks that kind of it started coming together and pointing towards John Deere. In seasons of blue, mean you can put it in the ground or different? What do you mean blue? AC. John Deere spawn. Yeah, John Deere spawn. Oh, was it at FarmCon last year? No, that was at Agritechnica, wasn't it? It was either FarmCon or Agritechnica, that baling thing they did. John Deere sponsored the models they were giving away. That's what I mean, like that was hidden in plain sight. Because everybody just wrote that off, including, like, Giants even wrote it off. Blue writing on the temperature. It means it's too cold to plant. Everybody wrote off anything that was indicating John Deere as... That's just a coincidence. That there's so much going on with John Deere all of a sudden. Because John Deere traditionally have used Farm Sim on their stands at shows. Like they've had kind of agreements with Giants that they would use Farm Sim with John Deere models at shows. Do I think 6R will be in the game? I bloody hope so. I really want to use a good 6R. That's my favourite John Deere, and all the mods for 6Rs have been bad. I went very Northern English there for a second, didn't I? I bloody hope so. By the way, don't mention the sub-goal. Well, I said that. Everybody's going to start mentioning it. Did they use mods to get the mod? I think they got the models done privately. Possibly by Giants. Who knows? But it has been a thing they've been using, kind of like modified versions of Farm Sim on shows for many, many years. Like the T7 missing from FS15, or the Fendt 1000 being missing from FS17. I was about to, yeah, recent Eddie got what I was going to say. The second I say don't do something, everybody does it. I'm aware of the sub goal, by the way. Just so that everybody knows. By the way, apparently we're only on 38 likes. Come on, guys. Get hitting the like button if you're enjoying. And if you haven't done so already, and you'd like to, because you're really, really enjoying, you can hit that subscribe button too and turn on notifications. And if you're a complete lunatic, you can even sponsor the channel and give me some of your hard-earned cash so that I can buy nice things like FS19. If you're feeling particularly saucy, you can donate through the donation link in the description or Super Chat. And I prefer the donation link in the description, but I'm not too fussy. Also, there's Patreon as well if you want easy access to something that doesn't apparently break every month. Because, oh my god, sponsorships break so much for some reason. 6 Killer, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the RainbowDave Madhouse. Hope you enjoy your stay. Dave is secretly from Northern Ireland. Yes, that's why I put on a Northern English accent. Yes, that's exactly where I'm from. Sim's secretly from Northern Ireland. Simulate is genuinely from Northern Ireland. I am not even kidding. I'd say true fact, but that's usually what I say indicating it's a joke, but 100% serious. Simulate is from Northern Ireland. Do you think John Deere DLC? Nope. Nope. John Deere is coming to FS19. They will not be in the game one day before FS19. This is going to be... John Deere will be the cover star of FS19. They will be the main marketing thing. The only time John Deere was... Here's the thing that I have said for a while. And it's going to hold true. The only way John Deere would ever come to Farm Sim would be if they were on the cover. John Deere will be on the cover of FS19 worldwide. The cover image is already out. I have not seen this. Is it the... Oh, is it the one that Giants are using on their Discord? Because I've seen like the 6 pixels of it on the Discord. Because Discord pictures are terrible. It's available in the Focus Press Pack. Is it? Bear with. The Focus Press Pack. Not the Giants Press Pack. It's the Discord pick. I'll have to find the Focus Press Pack after the stream, then have a look. At a decent resolution. Oh, the Focus website. Let me just really quick. Focus Home Interactive. Games. Is there a good resolution of that picture anywhere? No. Open a new tab. Please be a good resolution. Oh. That's quite nice, I like it. Bit annoyed that it's an 8R on the cover, but I mean, I can deal with it. Mechanical keyboard makes all the noise in the world. What have this changing structure in the main menu? We don't know this. It might. But again, it might be condition of the deal with John Deere that John Deere is on the main menu too. John Deere like being prominent. So I wouldn't be too surprised if John Deere is the main menu, the cover, the first brand in the shop, even though it'll probably go in alphabetical order. They'll just jam 16 A's in front of John Deere. So in the shop it'll be, John Deere. Would you like to buy a... Would you like to buy a green boy today, please? I will have 16 green boys, a red boy, and a blue boy. And also 2 yellow boys. Which red boys would you like? Would you like the ones beginning with C or the ones beginning with M? Really shouldn't do that voice, because it wrecks my throat. Everybody's gone quiet. It's almost certain there will be a 6175R in the game. Is it by any chance, Mike? Because that's the tractor they had on their E3 stand. By the way, E3 actually tweeted out a picture of the giant stand. Or the farm sim stand, because it had a tractor. I don't know if you guys were on Twitter last night or follow E3 on Twitter. Because I do. What mode should I use on the mod hub? Yeah, it's Creator Tools. That's the one you're going to want. Because of the stand. Yeah, the E3 tweet was a picture of the John Deere on the stand. And just the words, tractor confirmed. Oh, I got many American mods. No, I need to look for them tonight. Or beg Landy for some. Probably the latter. Because I am a lazy boy. I am the laziest boy that ever lazied boy. Whee! Whoops. Creator Tools is great because if I go Control... Is it Control G or is it Alt G? Alt G. You can set fruits in fields if the field depths are done well. Which, on this map, they're really not. On Sandy Bay, they're a bit wonked. Which is a bit unfortunate. How do you find the Focus website? Google Focus Home Interactive. That's what I did. With the world's noisiest keyboard. You can just Google Focus Home as well. By the way, you guys better be glad that I don't do like really heavily keyboard focused games like StarCraft or something. Because could you imagine me playing StarCraft? There's also a link on chat. I mean, I chose the easy. Well, I chose the Dave route, which was probably the dumbest way I could possibly have done it. But it worked. That's all that matters. Look at the size out of its fill level, 64.12 litres were good. Use of blades, 5% already. That's not very good. Home Interactive was the defining one. Every other, yeah. Fords are probably like glasses or magnifying glasses or microscopes. Or telescopes, I guess. I was kind of like looking at smaller and smaller things and... Hang on, telescopes. You can look at really big things with those. They're just really far away. On that tweet, somebody asked... Yeah, yeah, the E3 jokes this year are really quite good. Although I am kind of annoyed that the PC Gamer Show literally focused on like 6 different Battle Royale games. I don't care for them. They are not fun games. I've done a stupid thing, haven't I? Or, why did I think that was a good idea? Market oversaturation. Yeah, it's like survival games a few years ago or zombie games. Devlock's engaged. They're already engaged! Wibble Trick? Wibble Trick, come to my... The wibble trick isn't... CT... There we go, I've teleported back and charged myself €350 for it. Mechanical keyboard. I've always wanted one, so I'm really quite happy that I've got one. I know that it annoys so many people, but I'm really quite happy that I've got one that has a really nice clicky noise. It's very tactile. Did I just cheat? I cheated in terms of teleporting, and then I cheated in terms of actually taking €350 away from the amount that I have in game. So every time that I have to teleport or reset anything, I'm gonna charge myself money with creator tools. Because I don't have a mod that enables the normal GS cheat money command, I use CT cheat money, and if you set that to negative, it will take money away from you. So I did CT cheat money minus 350. Should you get to vote on how much it costs you? I did say that like it's like 100 per item, although this time for some reason it was 175 per item. I guess because these are slightly bigger than what I was teleporting yesterday. It's never going to be much lower than... It's not going to be any lower than 100. Ever. And that's for like a 135 or something being moved, because that can go on to a normal like flatbed trailer. Or normal transport trailer. The bigger the trailer that a piece of equipment would need, the more it's going to cost me. So if I'm resetting, say, or teleporting, say, a quad track, that'll be 2,000-3,000 because that thing needs a big ass trailer. If I'm resetting a combine, that'll be 500 at a go because you need, you need a big trailer for that. That is a really nice sunset. Sandy Bay has a really nice skybox at times, even though it's the older skybox that Oxy and Bill used to use. It just looks beautiful a lot of the time. It's completely blown out of the water by Lone Oak, and even like the older set of newer maps, the West Coast and Oakfield also blow this map out of the water, but that's just kind of a function of Oxy and Bullet Bill learning to mod better, and they're still learning, and they're still kind of asking around for help. I've helped Oxy with a few things, which stuns me. I've helped Bullet Bill with a couple of things, which also stuns me. And it's just, I might not know as much as them about mapping, but is the Insanity Challenge going to be tomorrow? Yes. Why did I modulate my voice like that? Is the Insanity Challenge going to be tomorrow? Coming up next on Radio 2. I think I'm having some sort of weird seizure. I don't get how the DJ voice is just like wobble your voice around a lot. Like the radio DJ. Hello and welcome to Radio 2. After the Lone Oak stream. Yeah, I'll be there if you are. If I'm not in iRacing actually, because skippies. Call 911. I think there's something seriously wrong with me. Like, you've got the movie announcer voice, the movie trailer voice, which is, in a world where farming is key and realism is something that's only thought about, Farming Simulator 19 brings you John Deere. Yeah, I'd do a speed test if I were you. Or like a ping test or something while doing a speed test. In a world where realism is key, Daggerwin and Daggerwin bring you Why Are There So Many Daggerwins? I hope Daggerwin doesn't think I actually hate him or something, because I keep kind of poking fun at him. It's just... He's the best known name. Everybody knows who Daggerwin is in Farm Sim. It's just... It's so easy to do that it's kind of hard to resist at times. Come on, get off the chat. There we go. It's 69, oh, 70% compacted. Ah, oh. Come on, get off the. There we go. Come on. There's a good machine. Oh God, no, not that. Blistering fast upload speed of 3 megabits per second. I mean, it's better than I used to have. I used to have 0.1 at best on a good day. If the sun shone in the right direction, the wind was blowing just so to the east. At 3.2 meters per second on a Tuesday. And I was still doing YouTube. I was uploading videos with that nonsense going on. So I was starting off. So faster than your basic speeds, but faster than Landy's speed at night. It just goes on a random go slow at night now. If you can see exactly, yes, exactly. You gotta be really super precise with when my internet used to be able to work. Now it's actually like the exact opposite. Like it randomly breaks when everything aligns just so, and my internet's just like, your router has failed. Sorry for this inconvenience. Please try again later. Like, no, the router hasn't failed. The cable hasn't failed. It's a new cable, you idiot. Just work. I've got work to do. Let me do my work. I think everybody's had internet like that, unless it's like one of the people who are growing up with like super fast internet everywhere. They don't know what it means to have bad internet. They think like a small bit of lag. Oh, my internet's terrible. You've never tried dial-up. Or 1 meg broadband. How much is in this pit? 418,000... Oh, there's actually 423,206 litres of silage. We'll be in this pit when we're done. Let's just fix that so that I don't keep bringing it up by mistake. There's autosave. Comically, I'm going to be taking all the silage from this side of the pit, like this side of the pit where I'm making the wall. A day when, I remember that. I remember like before the internet. I remember like not having a PC in my house at all. I can barely remember it now, but I remember it. I remember owning an original PlayStation, well, 2 original PlayStations, because I killed them both! When the PS2 came out, and it was backwards compatible, which is something that Sony and Microsoft seem to have forgotten used to be a thing. The thing is, Reese, is you get used to whatever speeds you're used to. Like, I'm used to having 50 down, 20 up now. And I do complain when I get like 4 or 5 megabits per second. Steam is particularly bad. It, for some reason, only ever works at like 6 meg. I'm not entirely sure why, but that's a thing. Paint, okay. Excuse me, you are forgetting the most important of the old-style Windows games. Pinball 3D. Gary Watts, by the way, thank you very much for subscribing. Welcome to the RainbowDave Madhouse. Hope you enjoy your stay. They have, well, yeah, they do just want to sell you all the games again, which is the worst thing in the world. Optimized for the new platform. So are modern PC games! And I still like playing games for Windows 98. Detroit Become Human is really cool. I watched the Let's Play, I watched the stream of that, and the guy streaming it was just kind of making effectively random decisions, or role-playing it. He got the worst possible ending. He actually, from trying to roleplay all 3 characters as 3 different characters, got just the worst ending. What all tractors have I? I've got a load all. I've got a 7710, which is borderline useless, unfortunately, at the moment, for some reason. I've got a Profi Hopper. I've got a Case Maxim 5150 from the Modern Classics DLC. I've got a New Holland TX34 Combine, which needs washing quite desperately. I've got a Massey Ferguson 390T, also from Modern Classics. I've got a JCB Fast Track 150, also from Modern Classics, because I really like Matt's DLC. And I've got the load all again. Surprise, surprise, we're back to the start. Minesweeper. I know how Minesweeper works now! I've not played it in years, but I know how Minesweeper works. Although I used to love playing Free Cell. That was my jam. Free Cell was my jam. There's something cool about a tactical game involving, like, a full deck of cards just randomly assembled, where you can see where every card is, but you have to do specific things to get to them. Filling in the holes, filling in the holes. Ski Free. I never tried Ski Free. I never had that. Will the next plan be for FS19? I don't know. Sell the Deere. No! I literally just got the Deere today. Or last night. So, I'm not selling the Deere. I'm also glad that I didn't swap out the Fast Track for the Deere, because that would have been a fair swap, and oh my god, would that have been a pain today. We're up to 77% compacted with our 425,000 litres of silage. Do I think the Modern Classics pack will be in-game? I don't know! Nobody knows about that, actually. Buyer's remorse, nobody will hold me to. Thing is, I do actually like the 77, 78, 10. That's one of my favourite Deere mods, so that ain't going anywhere. So what I'm succeeding in doing here is making a huge ramp, and now I'm kind of tempted to try and drive the Fast Track off it. I'm so tempted, in fact, that I'm probably, once this is covered, going to drive the Fast Track off it and see how far I can get the Fast Track to go. See if I can actually ramp over that fence over there. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, they're more likely to be like maybe free mods. Depending what the deal with Matt is, I guess. And Matt's obviously not allowed to divulge information about that, so... This pit is looking really good. It's actually quite smooth, which... For silage in Farm Sim 17 is quite impressive. I do need to go back down to the very end of the pit and actually pick up a bit and just clean off the end there a bit. But we got a good silage ramp going here. Yeah, the lizard road rage and rampant. The road rage goes 101 miles an hour. Landy's live? Is Landy live, guys? Want more confirmation than just VF? No offense. In fact, I could check my phone because Twitch tends to email me. Landy Kid is live. So with that, I'm almost definitely going to finish compacting off camera. So I'm going to leave the game running here in the background. I'll just pause it. Ugh. Look at my hand. I'm going to send you over to him because he is doing some lone oak. He's taking 5 minutes of my time. I don't care. He's doing some lone oak farm today, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go on over to Landy Kid. Check out lone oak if you want to see some lone oak. I'm not going to continue streaming for those of you that don't care about lone oak or don't want to see it. Of course Twitch updates now. Of course it does. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Insanity Challenge with the small green boy. Until then, I'll leave you by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching Farming Sim 17, the Sandy Bay Challenge. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.